ALG really saved me. I put all of my success on joining this group. People constantly checking in saved me.
I made so many friends with people that I've never met, but I feel incredibly close to, and I consider them family.
It really is a family. It is a place where you can just be yourself, and there is no judgment. There is no shame. You are so welcome there.
Nobody has to be in this alone. Everybody is either going through or has gone through the same thing at one point.
Let's do this.
Shit's such a bop. It's such a bop. Anyway, Welcome back to another episode of the ALG podcast. If you're listening to this on the day of drop, then happy Friday to you. Really quick at the top of the show, I just want to give a really big shout out to everyone who's been rocking and rolling with us for the last 2 years. I'm not going to do the sponsored by bullshit. I just want to take a second to really say thank you to all of our listeners. This show is not possible without you, because if not, we're just two weirdos talking to nobody. So I appreciate you.
Soon to be three weirdos talking to no one.
Yeah.
We have a really special guest with us today, my man Levi Garrett. As always, I am joined alongside my partner in crime, David Roden, otherwise known as fit_drock on Instagram. I am John Arpino, otherwise known as JR's Journey. Levi, share your Instagram handle.
My Instagram handle is FluffyTheFitness85, and yeah, that's the best way to find me. So
awesome. So, Levi, let's just get right into it, brother. Why don't you give us a little background on you? Tell us who you are, what you've done, and, yeah. Well,
I have lost a total of 230 pounds.
Jesus.
I was a pleasantly plump man. It was something that at the age of 33, I had a heart attack. And I had to make a choice to change my life.
You had a heart attack at 33?
Yes.
Holy balls. Okay.
Yeah,
what was your top weight?
When I had the heart attack, it was 405, and that was the day after my birthday on June 3rd. And then it took me a while to really deal with that, but I gained more weight after that.
Wow.
And, for me, I was a depressed eater, so every single time I was upset, I was depressed. Every single time I was, bullied or at school, I would eat. It was nothing for me to, eat just my feelings and whatever. But it was something where I had to, overcome, a lot of shit, especially in, my childhood, and really deal with that. And I'm very open and honest about dealing with, things that happened to me when I was a kid and, trauma that I had to deal with, and it really played a role on my negative eating habits and the way I looked at things. So I had to change my entire mindset to really be better and try to do more. And luckily I did, because if not, I'll be fucking toted in a box by now. But right now I'm doing pretty good. I'm about 6 weeks out from my the WBFF World Championships for transformation, so I'm going to do that.
Let's go.
And looking leaner, feeling good. I haven't really I had some popcorn just before I got on here because I needed something.
Oh,
crunchy,
you rebel! You having some popcorn?
I know. I'm such a rebel and a savage.
What brand?
This pop, the Ober Redenbacher one, the 100-calorie one.
Nice.
Yeah, I had that. And usually I'm at my sister's right now, so usually I'll put Parmesan cheese on it just to get it cheesy. Oh yeah, it's all about the smart choices. I still eat like a fat fuck, but I just make smart decisions.
Wow, I'm mind boggled right now. Do you know, in all my years of being fat and Italian, I never thought about putting grated cheese on popcorn ever.
That is a violation, bro. You have to.
Ever.
You can get the and they sell them. You can get the grated cheese. They can get the flavored cheese. You can get the actual the low calorie extra butter to make it even fatter, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a total hack. And the thing is with popcorn, it has a shit ton of fiber in it. So if you're dieting, it will make you feel fuller for longer.
Yep.
I do love me some popcorn.
Popcorn,
yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, for me, I never
Here we
feel
go,
full
David, with a loser
popcorn.
thing. Here we go.
I don't feel full on popcorn. I could literally eat my body weight in popcorn and never feel full.
Oh, yeah. No, popcorn doesn't make me full. Ever. No, never. I want to eat 9 bags of popcorn, but I love popcorn.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit, because I get a lot of fiber from Quest bars, when I add popcorn on top of Quest bars in a day, I tend to get gassy. I get gassy.
Dude, I was just about to say, like, if I eat a Quest bar, I'm farting out the whole fucking house.
Well, we're 5 minutes in, guys, and we've already got farting going on this podcast.
Like, I'm just letting you know, I'm blowing shit out. Like, it's gonna be tragic.
Oh,
and the smell will be horrible.
popcorn mixed with Quest bar mixed with protein is just the perfect storm for no relationships.
Dude, your toilet must hate you. Like that is horrible.
It's a combo.
The
It's
amount of protein in that session, Jesus.
Let's just say, transparency's sake, when I fart in front of my mom, she goes, "And I know why you're single."
I could name other reasons, but
yeah. Luckily, I'm married, so my wife's stuck in dealing with this. She just like looks at me like, "You nasty bastard," and walks away.
I'm getting married in 3 months, so she's stuck with this shit.
Exactly.
All right, pull back, Levi. I want to know. Walk me through. So, like, when you say, I mean, obviously, you say you're transparent. First and foremost, you don't have to talk about shit. Whatever the fuck you want to talk about, you talk about. When
Absolutely.
you say, when you say you had traumas and it made you create poor habits, what do you mean?
When I was a kid, I was molested, so it was something that I really struggled with for a while. Like, I didn't know how to really deal with it, how to really process it, and it was something that really fucked with my head, like, a lot.
Right.
And it was something I didn't tell my mom, I think, till I was, like, 22 years old.
Damn.
And, you know, like, it was just, you know, the upbringing that, you know, my mom is a great mom, and she's an amazing woman, and the process of telling her kind of, like, it broke her heart, you know, but it was just because, like, she felt guilty that she couldn't protect me, you know, and so it was something that but I had to deal with that, you know, and being a young kid, you don't know how to deal with that. And all she knew was that I felt better when I ate, so she would just feed me. And my mom was like, you know, she would just like pump me full of food and stuff like that. She's like, oh, he's happy, you know, it's weird. Like, I'm in Rhode Island, so like we kind of grew up like in an Italian area, but my mom was just like, the thing she did was she cooked with love, and her love was to feed us. So she constantly fed us. And so, especially for me, like, I'll go back for seconds and thirds and then clean the plate, you know what I mean? So, like, and she would see me depressed and stuff like that, and she didn't really know why. And then I was bullied in school, all the way elementary school, junior high. It wasn't until high school, so I really found my way, and I started playing football. But even in high school, I remember I was 350 pounds. I was 15 years old, and I was playing football. So I lost 100 pounds that year in my sophomore year going into my junior year.
Okay.
I went from 350 to 250.
Wow.
And then, because I wrestled, and then my coach was like, okay, everything's done. Just don't come back fat next season. I came back at 320 pounds again.
Damn.
So, and then I had to lose the weight again, and I stayed around 255 through high school. And then after high school, like, I blew right back up to like 360.
What was your process? Like, when you went from 350 to 250 and you kind of went through that process, what did you do to lose the 100 pounds?
Portion control.
Just portion. Okay.
My coach told my mom, like, he can only eat this much, and it would be like a little saucer of food. And it would be like, okay, you can have your green beans, your vegetables, and protein. So, you know, my dad was diabetic, so my mom had, like, certain things that she would make us and, like, or make for him, and we would just eat what he eat.
Right.
So she kind of had an idea, so she would give us, like, chicken or try to bake stuff. But, of course, like, my mom's, like, family's from down south, so stuff's fried all day, bacon all day. So it's like we would just eat that, and we'd be like, oh, this tastes good, not realizing we about to snap a chair. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, we were just big bastards, and especially me. So, like, I was like...
Big bastards.
I just heard this. I'm not going to lie. I heard snap a chair, and it sounded like... I don't know. It sounded like John right there.
Yeah, dude, it's the Rhode Island accent, man. Like, it's that's all it is. But, yeah, dude, it's like I was such a fluffy man. So I was like... I could totally remember this when I was, like, 15 years old. I was 5'8", my dad was 5'8", and I was eye to eye with him, but I was twice as wide.
Wow.
Like, that was like something.
Bowling ball
like,
status.
It was like, dude, I really was, man. I really was a bowling ball. I was a short, round little thing. It was like, and then like I had like a big head, so I didn't know if I was growing in my head. Like, it was terrible.
How tall are you now?
So I'm 6'1".
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're not 5'8".
Yeah, so I grew up. I luckily grew up because I was nervous. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna stretch this shit out. But like, luckily, I grew up into my size. But it was just like
You know, there's people on this podcast
listening
getting offended because you just said that anyone below 6 foot's not full out.
Well,
dude, like, look,
I don't know. The proof is in
okay.
the pudding, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Everyone around here right now is over 6 foot.
But, you know.
I mean, yeah, we'll call them short kings, yeah. But, you know, as a fully grown man above 6 feet.
Fully grown man.
As adult children, if you're under 6 foot.
Now, we're not speaking to the toddlers anymore.
No.
Oh, my God. This took a pivot. All right, we're back.
But, like, I was always bullied. I was always picked on. I was always, like, ridiculed for my size. And I wanted to try to find my way. So when I had my coach, James Sneed, like, God rest his soul, he told me, he's like, focus on your posture control, focus on your training, and you can really, really see a change in your body. And I did. The problem was that I didn't have that desire to really, like, I just was doing what I was told. And then after high school, everything came off the rails. I just ate whatever I wanted. It didn't matter. I was eating, drinking, partying, whatever. I was in college. Couldn't nobody tell me shit to do. I was like, I'm 18. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I didn't have any structure. And I knew I needed that.
Right.
But I didn't know how to find it. I was still trying to find my way as a man. And I was just living my life, living the dream. And at that point, I had to tell myself, you know, this isn't good. This isn't, like, I got sick. So I got sick was like my kidneys were messing up. I had like really bad kidney stones and whatever. And I was like 29 and I had lost weight, and then I lost weight again. So I went from 360 pounds at that point to 230 pounds.
Right.
But I didn't do it the right way. Like, I was dieting, but I was eating, like, just not eating a lot because I didn't feel good. So I was eating, like, chicken nuggets and french fries and tater tots and still eating, like, piece of shit. But I just kept losing weight. I was like, all right, this is working, so I'm going to ride this train till the wheels fall off. And then that stopped working. And then I gained all the weight back. I lost the weight when I was 29 and gained all the weight back by the time I was 30. And then some. So I was easily, I want to say at that point, because my scale went up to 370 pounds, and when that motherfucker said E for error, I knew it was a problem.
So wait, how many times have you lost and gained 100 pounds?
This is the third time.
Third time.
Wow. That's incredible.
Now, but this time, how long, what's your timeline for this one right now?
This is 4 years off.
Yeah, this is 4 years straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like it's different.
Yeah, I have sustainability now. At that time, when I was losing this weight, I had no sustainability. I had no control. I had there was like, the car was running, but there was no one behind the wheel, that whole type of thing. So, like, I had no control whatsoever. Right. And then on my 33rd birthday, well, let's backtrack with this. So, in a span of stress, I find out, because, again, I stress eat. So, in a span of stress, I find out, me and my wife, I proposed to her. I was like, hey, let's get married. She's like, okay. And, you know, we're planning a wedding. During the process of planning a wedding, I find out my stepdaughter's pregnant at 16 years old with my first grandson, Julian. So we're going through the process of doing that. So we're trying to help her finish school. I wind up switching jobs. In the process of switching jobs, I get transferred to 2 different stores. And then we get married. I say we, but she has her son, Julian. And then I switch another store. I have my birthday. And then on June 3rd, 2018, I have a heart attack.
Damn. Wow. And when you say heart attack, what type of heart attack? Like...
It was a minor heart attack. It wasn't a major one. I didn't, like, seize up and, like, completely, like, fall on the floor and flop like a fish. But it felt like I was, like, I felt like, because when you have like an anxiety attack, like that compression of like, it was like right here, and it
felt like an elephant on your chest.
Yeah, so like I was just like my body just was like, it just kept compressing. I felt this pain, and like I had like this numbness in my arm, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, yeah, this is probably just me sleeping on it wrong. Cause that's what I thought it was, but it turned out when
that's a combo
I
right
went
there.
to the bathroom. So this is the I don't know if it's fucked up or funny, but I know we were talking about poop or shit or farting earlier or ever. So when I felt like there's anxiety and whatever, I was like, okay, I just have to shit, and when I shit, I'll feel better. Because my mom always told me, she has no medical history whatsoever, but I trust this woman like gospel. She was like, sometimes if you have a really bad fart, it can creep up into your chest and make you feel like you're having a heart attack. I was like, that's what this has to be. And so I go to the bathroom, and I sit on the toilet, and I was like, man, I don't got to shit or fart. What the fuck's going on? And then I legit, I start having an anxiety attack, and because I have an anxiety attack, I passed out. I was like such an adrenaline rush, I just couldn't deal with it. Then when I came to, I'm still on the toilet.
No shit.
Yeah.
This whole time having a heart attack. No one's coming out.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. Then the pain was going away, and so I was like, all right. And then I told my boss at the time, and I was like, yeah, this happened. He was like, if I was you, I'll go to the doctor. My dumb ass didn't go to the doctor until the next day, and that's when I found out that I had a minor heart attack. And then they had to weigh me, and because the scale went up to 385 pounds, like the most standard scale, that didn't happen. And I remember they didn't have the overweight scale that you see on my 600-pound life, like that one there. Had the only one they had was the recycling downstairs, so I got weighed with that.
That's demoralizing.
And that, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it made me feel like a fucking millionaire. So then I went and and then I found out I was 405 pounds, and then I was extremely depressed, and I didn't accept it. I actually rationalized it. I would say hey, it's all right. I'm 33 years old. Had a good life. Mm-hmm. This is all right. And I was like, you know what? In my brain, I was like, let me get shit in order for when the next one comes and I really clock out. And it was my grandson's first Christmas on December 24th. And because my wife's family is Portuguese, so they do Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Right.
So
that's how Italians do it too.
Yeah, I never did that. I never knew that until then. So it was and I see the joy of my grandson opening gifts, and I'm sitting in the back, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm really just pissed at myself, and I flat out said to me, you selfish fuck, you are seriously just going to quit and give up and miss all these moments with this boy who's going to need you because you think setting things up financially is going to make something or do something, or it doesn't matter. The time is what he's going to want.
Absolutely.
And I remember on that day, I was like, did I freeze or you freeze?
You froze.
You.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You're good. Don't worry about it. Keep rolling.
Where'd you guys leave? Where'd I leave off at?
Talking about your son and not being at the end of the day, your kid wants time, not money.
Yeah. So my grandson, I was like, he wants my time. He's gonna want me to be there. So I got some things in order. I wound up getting a gym membership to Planet Fitness, and I started my journey on January 1st.
But now let me ask you a question: Are you unpacking any of this trauma during any of this?
At that time, no. During the process of starting to lose weight, I did get myself into counseling.
Okay.
So that was one of the and that's something that I stayed in for an extremely long time. I was always in counseling because of how my attitude was, and especially being molested and stuff like that. They always had me in some type of counseling or whatever because I never felt that I fit in, and I always felt different, and I was always picked on and stuff like that. So I was something that was like, I would always be like in like guidance counselor or whatever, or like just counseling with the school and whatnot. But I did get counseling also when I was in college, when I first started to deal with being molested. And then after all of this stuff, I did get into counseling again, just to deal with the mental side of the issues of all the shit that happened.
And who knew? Like, did anyone know?
About my heart attack?
No, about the past trauma.
My grandmother, my Nana, I told her when I was 8 years old.
Gotcha. So she was the only person that knew?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot to hold on to, man. That is a lot to hold on to.
So yeah, it was, and that was like the driving. She's honestly like my driving force. Like every day when I think about her, and the fact that my mom looks like her, and my aunt looks like her. We all have some type of like twitch like her or something like that. But she's like, I know for a fact she's my angel, and my goal is to make her proud. You know,
I relate to that a lot, my friend. My grandma's my why. So
yeah, and that's the thing is like I can see her like the days where I just want to say I don't fucking want to do this shit. Mm-hmm. I just hear her saying, "Get up, boy, you got work to do," and just got to get up and do it. You know,
absolutely,
so,
absolutely. So you start in the gym. Walk me through that first like 6 months to a year of you joining a gym.
Oh, that was tragic. So I was scared to lift weights because I wasn't as strong as I was when I was in high school. So I just stayed on the treadmill. I stayed on the treadmill, and like I just, and the thing was, I was nervous about the treadmill because I was over the weight limit. I was like, shit, this shit's gonna break. I'm not coming back here.
Which gym?
Like, Planet Fitness.
Yeah, come on, Planet Fitness, get a sponsorship. Yeah.
I started at Planet Fitness, and I started there, and it was like, I will say this about Planet Fitness: it is a great gym. For one, beginning, and two, you really won't feel judged.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You really won't. You know, so like I will say that
it's a gym for the 95%. For the 95.
Yeah, but once you reach a certain point, I look at it like that's the entry level, and then you graduate to different gyms.
Absolutely.
So, but a lot of people, I have a lot of people on my IG that they go to Planet Fitness and they never go away from it. They love it.
That's about me.
David doesn't go away from it.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like you go where you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I like it.
You know, like if you feel comfortable somewhere else, like you just love it, you know. But yeah, I did. I started at Planet Fitness. I was definitely afraid of like breaking the treadmill, and I was also afraid of like going on the weight floor because it was intimidating to me because I was always thought like I'm the big guy, so I should move the most weight, but I can't move that weight.
Yep.
So let me just stay my fat ass in the corner like Kirby and just keep on going.
Yep.
And so it was an extreme process, and at that point in time, I wound up going to like my old coach's diet plan, not as much portion control, but I started following like Obese to Beast and like doing his full day of eatings and stuff like that. And I saw like, okay, you know, like it's not just portion control, like you can eat low calorie things, and I just had to find them, and then once I found them, I started eating those, and then being smarter about my choices, and when I do get stressed, eat something low calorie or something like that, or you feel like you want a snack, have a low calorie snack, find different options and shit.
Yep.
So, and then after that whole process of like, okay, now I see my body losing weight, and then I see the loose skin, and I'm like, whoop, fuck this. I got to go to the weight floor. So then I start going to the weight floor, and I start benching, like, the 20-pound dumbbells, and I was like, ooh, this shit's heavy. and then I had to, like, restart everything. And because I knew I was going to have loose skin. I mentally wrapped my brain around that.
Yep.
So I, like, and with a lot of people, I get more DMs because I constantly post pictures about me and my loose skin and all this other stuff. I get more questions about, how'd you deal with the loose skin? Were you afraid of it? What was the thing? I was like, sacrifice without regret.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like,
it's people.
Like,
it's
I think
it's never really added up to me how like I don't know. I agree with what you just said. Like I knew loose skin was inevitable. Being 520 pounds and losing a massive amount of weight, like you have to just come to that realization, like, you're gonna have it, you know, and you can't let that be a roadblock on your journey to be like, I don't want to lose weight because I'm gonna have extra skin. So high blood pressure, diabetes, sleep apnea, all that that's all fine. Like, we're cool with that, but some fucking sagging skin that we could eventually maybe save up to get taken off, that's a problem. Like, I don't understand the vanity. I don't know if it's vanity. I don't know if it's vanity, but like, I don't understand like how that thought process goes down with some people, because I've seen some people that are just like, yeah, I'm better off just being the way I am than never having to deal with loose skin. And I'm just
I think it's a projection. I think it's like, all right, what is the most logical thing I can wrap my head around to justify why I won't do it?
Why I'm not doing it, yeah.
Why, and it's like, and so whatever that process is to get myself off the hook, it's like, well, I mean, is it really worth it if I'm going to have a bunch of excess skin? I mean, come on, man. And so it's people trying to project it off of themselves.
Like, I totally agree with that. I think it's more of the fact, and maybe I'm a little harsh about it, but I just feel like some people are just pussies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they
100%. 100%.
Like, they making such an excuse of, they try to rationalize it in their mind that they're not, like, their obesity is not a disability, but the loose skin is.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, like, and I think it's that projection that really ruins people. Like, I look at my loose skin not as a detriment, but the fact that I kicked obesity's ass.
Right, it's an accomplishment. At the end of the day, that's what loose skin is. It's a huge accomplishment. It's a badge of honor, whatever you want to call it. Like, you earned that, whether you like it or not. Like, you did. You earned it.
Yeah,
well, I think
that's the biggest thing. Yeah,
yeah, and when it comes to excess skin and people using it as an excuse, I think you get into the world of like sense, and I think coming. Oh my gosh, it popped across my TikTok and it was some nutritionist or some dietitian or some fucking hoity-toity wave sunshine and rainbows type person going, you know, the people that are most fat phobic are the ones that used to be obese. Those are the most fat phobic. No, we're telling you, we live both fucking lives, and I'm telling you that living an obese life is 10 times worse than not living an obese life. It's just not fucking worth it.
It ain't worth it.
Are we going to treat people like shit? No, but we're going to call a spade, and we're going to say the truth. And the reason why I bring that all up is being obese is almost becoming normal. Like, when you think about how many fat people there are.
It's very normal.
It's very normal. Excess skin, there's not that many people. I mean, there are a lot of people have lost hundreds of pounds. There's not tens of thousands. There's not hundreds of thousands.
Us three were all above the age of 25. So, like, back when we were younger, it was hard to find clothes in big sizes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Now it's everywhere. Everything
find it.
is good for fat people, and that's, I'm not knocking anybody. You know what I mean? Like, but
comfort and justification,
right? And that's just the times that we're in. You know what I mean? Like, I remember as a kid, like, Dad, I can't fit into the fucking seats in the stadium anymore. Well, lose fucking weight, you fat fuck. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. And now it's like everything is just big.
It's just big, and then the convenience factor comes in it.
Yeah, and I think that's something that if the world. Like, this is the thing, is that this whole inclusion shit of, like, the world doesn't fit to me, so I'm going to make this, I'm going to change
the world.
So it fits to me. Like, that's cool when I look at, like, you know, racial issues or trans, gay, LGBT.
You're born without a left leg.
Like, just because you can't put the fucking fork down and deal with your issues, I shouldn't have to fucking
bend backwards.
Like, change the shit. Like, and this is like, this is gonna get me going on a tangent.
No, go ahead.
So this is like a lot of the time when I look at like that body positivity shit.
Yeah, healthy at any size.
Like, it's like you should be body positive because you should love yourself, but the healthy at every size shit. Like, okay. Just because your blood markers and shit don't look that bad, because you're 23 and 400 fucking pounds, just because that's fine. But guess what? When you're 43 and you're still carrying 400 pounds, I want to see how your fucking knees feel.
Right. It catches up to you.
It does. It's a time. to put it like this, the only two things in this world that are undefeated are taxes and time.
Yep.
Like they'll always catch up with you. So if just because it doesn't get you now, it won't get you later.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think so many people have to understand that. And this is like my friend Nigel. Him and his wife just went to Mexico, and he was texting me about the plane, about how many extra seats were there because people had to buy extra seats to fit, and it was just empty seats. But the plane was sold out.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yep.
Absolutely, I believe it.
And it's like it's becoming the norm. To me, it's becoming the normal that more people are happy being miserable.
Yep.
And just we as a society have just said, you know what, we're going to be as strong as our laziest link.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's just fucking ridiculous.
Because we as a society decided that, you know,
trophies.
if people are not going to change them, society's just going to conform to who they are.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's like, I don't want anyone listening to this to make it seem like we are hating on anyone who is overweight, obese, whatever, because we're not. We've all lived it.
No.
We've walked in those shoes, and I don't want those shoes back. You can keep them. But, like, the problem is, like, we as a society are not leading by example. You know what I mean? And that's why, in my opinion, you know, weight loss Instagram is very important. Weight loss TikTok is very important. Like, social media as a whole, when it comes to weight loss, is very important when it's done correctly. You know, there is that fine line. But, like, when I was overweight and, like, we would go to an amusement park, before we went, I would absolutely check on Google. Well, what rides have kind of bigger seats that maybe I could fit on it? And if I can't, well, I fucked up. I need to lose weight. You know what I mean? And then there was 15 years where I couldn't fit on a roller coaster. Whose fault was that? Was that Hershey Park's fault because they made the rides too small? No, that's my fault. Like, at the end of the day, we have to take some personal blame.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
That's always my biggest on the body positivity in that whole world is, if you want to live the way you want to live the fucking way you want to live. But don't bitch about the consequences that come from your actions.
Absolutely.
Like, well, guess what? When health insurance costs more for you because you just had X, Y, and Z illness, and you got to pay for insulin, and you got to pay for this, and you got to pay for that, and your co-pays only pay for this much, and all this kind of stuff, and now you're bitching about the healthcare system is too expensive. Well, guess what? I hate to break it to you, Sally, but your lifestyle plays a huge role into that decision. If you want to live that life, live your life. But don't make the rest of the world bend to your means of how you treat yourself.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
And we're going to be now called fat-phobic assholes.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah.
social media.
Put it like this. Fuck it. Like, I always say this, I've been called worse by better.
Yeah. Remember when I thanked everyone at the beginning of the podcast?
Yep.
Now there's someone on here that's taking this
I think that's
personal.
like the biggest thing is that I absolutely 100% agree with that. Is that, and I think this is not coming from like we hate fat people places. It's coming from the fact that we've been down this road,
right,
and we don't want other people to walk down and to learn things the hard way that we have learned.
Absolutely.
And so we're trying to prevent people from making the same mistakes we did.
Exactly.
A lot of the time, that's going to come across that we're being assholes.
Right.
We're not.
Right.
But the problem is, again, society-wise, is that people can't deal with the harsh truth of shit.
Right.
They can deal with stuff being put in the cuddly, nice way.
And then, like, I want people to really listen to this from, like, this perspective. Like, Levi had a heart attack at 33 years old. I almost died in my house at 22 years old. David's David. But, like, nothing bad happened to David. But, like,
I almost did it to myself. Let's put it that way.
Right.
No, well, like, at 18, I almost ended my own. Both of them did it through health judgment. I almost ended my own life because of the life I created.
Exactly. So, like, do you see the pattern?
The trend here.
Like, there is a trend that is going on that, like, it's bad. It gets bad. It's, at the end of the day, pizza is fucking amazing. You know what I mean? I love pizza. But I can't eat pizza like I did 5 years ago. I know what the outcome of that is. Like, that's why, like, I'll wake up one day, there's some days I wake up and I'm like, yo, fuck this weight loss Instagram bullshit, fuck social media, I'm deleting everything, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And then I think to myself, well, who's going to tell the people the truth? You know what I mean? Like
from both sides.
From both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. Everyone that blames carbs for fucking making you fat.
Right.
And then everyone who thinks that health at every size is fine.
Exactly. So, like, we need someone, a group of people, not just some individual, but we need a large mass of people to start leading by fucking example. Because if not, we are just, this downward spiral is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Because, like, people people look at America like the fat country. But slowly but surely, these other the rest of the world is fucking catching up, man. And what is going to be society in another 20, 30 years?
Yep.
You know, if Wendy's 4 for 4 sticks around any longer, like
well, with inflation, it might be a 5 for 5.
For real.
But yeah, no, it's just like we're just trying to prevent people from doing the things that we did and learning from the mistakes that we've made, and that's the thing. And to not for nothing, like this game, like this life is hard. So
absolutely.
The hard truth is the hard truth. So if we don't tell you the way that we tell you, we don't speak about it the way that we speak about it, then it's just not going to go the way that it needs to go. You know what I mean? So we need to just continue to like work together, but understand this. You are responsible for your journey.
Yes.
And you're the reason you're sitting where you're at.
Absolutely.
So if you're not happy, you got one place to look, and that's the fucking mirror.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's like ALG community can only help you so far. Listen to podcasts
Everything
can only help you so much. Like even getting a coach. I hate to break it to you.
I mean, even smaller than that. I mean, let's even like microsize that a little bit. Even just downloading MyFitnessPal. Mm-hmm. If you download MyFitnessPal and never use it, never learn how to use it, never enter anything in, it's just wasting space on your phone. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to make that jump. You have to take that first step, because if not, like, no one's coming to save you.
But I have a $10 a month Planet Fitness membership.
And if you don't show up, yeah, me too.
At that point, if you have a $10 Planet Fitness membership and you're not using it, you're just playing a $10 a month fat tax.
Yes. Absolutely. I like that. I like that a lot.
$10 a month fat tax. I like that. That's funny.
I like that a lot. Well, let's circle back. We went on a huge tangent there. Where did we?
I know we sure did.
Where did we leave off on you and your journey?
So 4 years ago, you started your transformation.
So 4 years ago, I started my transformation, and I dealt with the mental battles of dealing with my loose skin.
Right.
It was definitely hard. And then, like, the thing is like, you almost look at it like, why did I do this to myself?
Absolutely.
Not the weight loss, but like the whole process of like, wow, I really let myself just get, like, you know, because it's a lot. You see like the saggy chest or the saggy stomach, or for me, like my back, like kind of like a melted candle a little bit. But it's like, you know, like you look at those things, it's like, wow, like, and then you see other people. This is the thing that when I was like starting on my muscle building journey, when you see other people that just like fucking around at the gym, is like, you have no idea how lucky you are.
100%.
You have a clean slate.
Yeah, you have a clean slate. Everything is great.
Genetics on your side. You've never been overweight. A little bit of change just makes a massive difference.
You've never been overweight. You've never had any of this bullshit issues. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yep.
Like for me, I got to worry about if my skin flaps out. Like, what's going to happen? Are you going to look at me weird?
Right.
Like, what's going on? And then, like, after a while, I think I use this mindset, and it's worked for me, and I will use it all the time. You guys are familiar with C.T. Fletcher, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the power of fuck it.
Yep.
Fuck what people think. Fuck what people say. Do you. Because at the end of the day, you're doing this for you.
Yes.
What you have done to yourself, you did that. And what you are going from that point on, you're going to do that too. You're the one with the choice, and you're the one that has the power to make this shit grow. So command it to be so. You can do this. And so at that rate, I just like, all right, fuck it. At this rate, like, my wife gets pissed off at me because I have no shirts with sleeves. I'm just going to show this shit off. I was like, I'm just going to show this shit off. Like, I've earned this. I've earned every bit of loose skin. I've earned every bit of muscle. I've earned all of it, good and the bad and the ugly. But the power of fuck it. Like, so, like, if you have somebody that's, like, talk shit about you, how you're losing weight, or why you're losing weight, or this ain't supposed to be on your diet, or why are you eating this? Is this part of your meal plan? Are you trying, like, fuck it.
Right.
You're doing this for you. So at that rate, it should not matter what anybody else says. Of course, you're going to have those days where shit creeps in. That's natural. However, you have another day tomorrow. And so the next day, you realize, okay, yesterday it got to me. It ain't getting to me today.
Right.
I'm not letting that get to me today. I'm going to go to the gym and crush it. I'm going to do my cardio and crush it. I'm going to go do my boxing, whatever, Zumba, CKO, whatever. I'm going to crush it. Because at the end of the day, this is my life. This is my term. This is my rules. And this is what I can control. So I'm going to keep pushing.
No,
absolutely.
I freaking love that because it's like there's power in accountability. Like like everyone thinks that like blaming yourself is a negative thing. It's like do you understand?
No.
Believing in the gremlin is the most disempowering thing there is. Like there's some secret gremlin that's making you fat. There's some secret gremlin that's making you make bad decisions. Yeah. There's some secret person behind. It's like, no, I'm the fucking gremlin. And it's like, holy shit, if I'm the gremlin and if I change myself, my life changes.
Absolutely.
Like that's incredible. Yeah. There's nothing worse than just trying to find the world and blame the world for everything that's wrong in your life. Like, that's the worst place to be.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you have the biggest thing is lack of ownership.
Yep.
Ownership of the moment, ownership of your life, ownership of what you've done. Like, to me, like, I've had a series of bad moments, but that doesn't change me. It's how you deal with it in that moment.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things where if you truly, truly have worked on yourself enough, and shit still happens to me. I mean, we talk about it on the podcast, like when we do the call, like shit still happens to me. I'm still going through shit. But at the same point in time, like, I own every single moment, good or bad. And at that point, a moment is like motivation. It can happen like this, go on the next minute.
Yep.
So if I can stay on my path and continue to walk through all the bullshit, through all the hard times, through all the crappy times, through when people say you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, fuck it. Not only fuck it, fuck you for doubting me.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, so, like, and I'm going to continue to work on myself. My journey is not written, but I'm the one turning the pages. So if I can continue to turn these pages and write my story the way I want it to be told, I'm not going to stop because you feel some type of way.
Amen.
You know?
Amen.
Like, so.
And that's like the whole.
More people need that mentality.
No, 100%. And that's like the whole thing I talk about, like, just the meaning. Like, at the end of the day, you control the meaning, and awful things happen to great people all the time.
Yeah.
And it's your ability to give the meaning. When something horrible happens to you at 8, what is the meaning when you grow up? What does that mean? Does it mean the world sucks and it's not worth living? Or does it mean, like, you know what, I got to figure it out and move on? It's like you tear a knee. What's the meaning? Why do I keep continuing? Or do you just be like, I got to change my nutrition and pivot? Like, the meaning you give awful situations makes 10 times more impact in your life than the incident itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll give you something that when I told my grandmother that I was molested, and, you know, she knew about my childhood, especially growing up, like, and stuff like that, and being bullied and being picked on, and I lost her at 15, and so that was heartbreaking. But I remember something where she told me, we come from a very religious family, like, very religious. Like, my mother's a preacher's kid. My grandfather was a preacher. My uncle was a preacher. My aunt's an ordained minister, like, very religious. Like, we were raised with a backhand and a Bible. So it was like, so that's how it was. But she told me, and I believe it to be true, and she put it in this phrase. She's like, she believed in God, but I believe it if you believe in any type of positive energy, negative energy, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. The reason bad things happen to good people is so that way it is shown to other people how to overcome things.
Absolutely.
Your journey is way more important than you think it is.
True.
You don't know it now, but at some point you will have the opportunity to tell your story, to tell what you've gone through, and be open and honest with it. Don't hide anything. Because if the moment where you try to hold on to there's point to those things you hold on to yourself, for yourself. But there are points and times where you opening up can open it up for somebody else to feel better about their life.
Right.
You know, we talk about what we just talked about with us. Like, we don't hate fat people. We're just trying to pave the way for you guys to not make the same mistakes we did.
Right.
But if we don't share how we feel, how would you know that this is the reality of what you're going to have to deal with?
100%.
I mean, combined between all of us, we did about, 700 pounds weight loss between all of us.
Over.
Yeah,
over 700.
You know what I mean? So like, I mean, you're not hearing it from somebody that's like, oh, I lost 2 pounds, summer shredding. Like, you know, like,
and
this is as real as it gets.
Multiple times and decades. Mm-hmm. One thing that's very unique, it's also some of the very obese to beast we had on. I'm 8 years, John's 5, you're 5, 4 or 5. 4. So you're talking, there's 15 years of sustained weight
experience,
loss. Communicating with you right now. Like 15 years. Like, and so it's super important. It's not just, I hate to, this is harsh. I made a TikTok post.
Do it.
What was that? Oh,
no, go ahead.
I made a TikTok post where I was like, all right, if you've lost over 100 pounds and sustained it for at least 2 years, what is something you've learned? And there's a bunch of people that comment down below, like, I've only sustained it for 6 months. I've only sustained it for a year. And it's like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I also like weight loss is one thing. Sustainability is a whole different game.
Whole different ballgame.
Different ballgame.
Yeah, people want to talk about losing weight every day on Instagram, on TikTok. They want to talk about like they did it.
No
one
likes talking about sustainability. And then when you get into sustainability, half the fucking time, these motherfuckers go, you can't eat that. I'm like, bitch, I've been doing this for 8 I just drank Diet Sprite. You can't drink Diet Sprite. There's synthetic sugars in that. You can't do that. Bitch, shut your mouth. 8 years.
I actually got into an argument about this. I'm not going to say with who, but I was eating.
John's like, give me the meat. Give me the meat.
I was like, who the fuck? Who was you arguing with?
I was eating, and then there was like, I remember this. It was like during the process of like me cutting from my first show I did, and it was like, is that on your diet? And I said, who the fuck you to ask me that stupid ass question? and I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It is not, but I'm eating it. I had like a real moment for them, and I was like, I probably should have said that shit. But I was like, at that moment, I was like, but it's real though. Why the fuck what's on my plate your problem?
Right. Fact.
Like, shut up. If I want to eat fried chicken, guess what? I can eat fried chicken. I lost 230 pounds.
Yep.
I can do what I want.
You can't. As soon as you lost weight, you're never allowed to indulge.
You're never allowed to have anything.
Oh my God.
My cousin constantly jabs at me. Every family get together, I'll have like a piece of ice cream or something, and he go, "You gonna post it on your TikTok and show your friend, or show your fan,
show your followers?" Yeah,
I do all the fucking time.
Does that? I was like, "Do it. Take a picture. Do it,
dude." I did that after the competition I did in Connecticut. I did that, and I took a picture of a pound donut that I ate. And I got so many DMs. Why are you doing that? You're just gonna fuck up your system. Blah blah blah. I was like, you can fucking lick my nuts. Yeah. Like I can really give a shit. And then I posted this. Then I went back because it was my stepdaughter's birthday. I went back to Connecticut and I said round 2, and I posted that shit again because I had another one. So I was like,
bro, it's so funny. I literally had
so bad, man.
I literally had on my TikTok this afternoon. I made a post like, I will admit. When people, like, it was some pretty big fitness influencer guy who's a good guy. He's very science-based. He's very logical down the middle. And he goes, telling someone who's significantly overweight to eat less and move more is a very disingenuous and not a very good thing to tell someone because, again, someone who doesn't know anything about food, eat less and move more.
I posted that too.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't fucking help.
It's
like
the most
lean
disrespectful
protein.
thing in the fucking world.
Yeah, it's like eat less what? So like eat less what? How can I sustain my body? Like again, sustainability. Like eat less. So I starve myself. Like so I just don't eat at all. Like how much is less? And so like and so I made a post that said, hey, I completely agree with you. With calorie deficit being the foundation, it's super important to say that. But however, if all you say is calorie deficit. And you don't give any context of what a calorie is, what protein, carbs, and fats are, how to create a balanced nutrition plan. If you don't put any of that into context, it comes off as unsustainable and disingenuous. And someone commented like, you know, man, I disagree with you, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, 8 fucking years I've lost 200 pounds and sustained it. 8 years.
Fact.
8 years.
Yeah.
So and like I'm not some crazy like you got to go carnivore to live a healthy life. Nothing I said there was that extreme. Even something as simple as saying, "Hey, don't just say calorie deficit and eat less, move more. You got to give more context."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, that's the foundation." You don't get it. You
I
don't
look at
get
it like with that shit. It's like when you have a daughter and you say, "Hey, you need to make sure you're successful and make a lot of money," and then you get pissed off she's a fucking stripper. You didn't give any details.
You didn't give any details.
Like you gave no details.
I
whatsoever.
love that word.
So like, it's like you like. That's the thing is like, there's no wrong way to live your life.
Yep.
Correct.
But there are different ways to lose weight.
Yes.
Find what works for you and ride that shit till it falls off. We've got friends that do carnivore, keto, high carb, low carb. Like for me, like even people always look at me like I'm insane or crazy when I say like for me, like I do 20,000 steps a day religiously just because of my job.
Yep.
Right.
So for me, my maintenance is 3,400 calories, and people look at me like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I can hold a lot of food." And then they ask me like, "How much were you eating when you were fat?" I was like, "Probably around 10,000 calories a day."
Yeah.
Because I'll eat Burger King twice a day. I'll eat Dunkin' Donuts, and then my
That's
wife.
already 10,000. Burger King twice and Dunkin' Donuts. That's 10,000.
Everything my wife is cooking has butter in it, and it's fried and it's good. Like she makes these pastels and like empanadas, and I'm like,
oh yeah, talk fat dirty to me.
She's like, "Don't you want some?" I was like, make a batch for me, and then the other batch is for the kids. Like that's how it was,
Right?
You know, so like I constantly say like, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than the goal is sustainability. We're all coming from different directions, so we're all going to do it different ways.
Absolutely,
but we just want the same goal.
Absolutely, Levi. I appreciate you being on, brother. This has been an amazing conversation. Before we wrap this up, I do have a couple of questions for you that I like to close off the podcast with, so let me know when you're ready for those.
Shoot.
All right,
ready.
Cool. If you could go back in time and talk to 8-year-old Levi and tell him one thing, what would you tell him? He has no idea what's going to happen in his future.
Don't be afraid of what you can't control. Understand that you are better, and you will be better, and this shit will pass.
Love that.
That's a huge thing for a lot of people. They try to control things you can't.
Yep. Can you give 3 pieces of advice to the listeners, and they don't necessarily have to be about weight loss?
Don't make an excuse. If you make an excuse for anything that you want to do, you're never going to get it. Don't be afraid to fucking try, because fear of failure, it's only failure if you don't try. Like, if you don't try at anything. If you want that promotion, speak it up.
Right.
Say you want it. If you want that extra, money, show your worth. Speak it up. Don't be afraid to just try. To put yourself in the most uncomfortable situation, because if you're not your own biggest cheerleader, no one else is going to give a shit about you.
Fact. Was that 1, 2, and 3? That was 1, 2, and 3?
That was 1 and 2.
Yeah, one more.
Give me one more.
Oh. Fuck them.
See, that's my favorite one, though. Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Whenever somebody talking shit, fuck them.
Fuck them.
They don't want to judge your shit.
Amen. Fuck them.
You do you.
And then fuck them again.
Do you.
Yep. Amen. Yep. Levi, where can we find you on Instagram?
Fluffy the Fitness 85. If you have any questions about anything journey-wise, or you just need somebody to talk to, I'm always there. I am busy like all the time, so if I don't respond, it ain't your fault. I suck at responding. I get a text message, and then like I just suck at that shit.
Me too.
So don't mind me. Plus, I'm 37. My hands are hard to like type and shit, so I'm old as fuck.
Voice message where it's at, man.
No, that's the
voice.
Voice message works better, because then I'd be like,
fucking love voice
I am
messages.
a grandfather, so I'll be like, hey, Sonny Jim. So like, you know, so. But yeah, just like.
Bro, you're 37. You're not 57.
I feel like
Well,
I'm 37, but like in black people years, I'm like 100.
Yo, because black don't crack, bro. Like black just does not crack.
Black don't crack, but it's hard.
Like I've had an under-over bet with David for like 6 months about how old you really are, because I'm just very confused every time you tell a story. You're like, dude, yo, I got 7 grandkids, I got 4. Like I'm just.
Oh my gosh, I will never forget.
Like, that's the thing. Cause it's like Asian people. Like Asian people can either look at like 20 or 1,000.
Yes.
Like there's no in between. Like black. Like I got this girl that I work with. She's like 60 years old. She looks like she's 30.
Yeah,
that's so.
I believe
like
it.
30 years old.
I believe it.
But I will say this: being black is cool, but it's kind of dangerous. So technically, I'm like 37. I'm like 107.
But it's dangerous.
I still, when we had the community call a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden you were like, my grandkid, and I had to ask. I was like, bro, this is how
Bro,
old
he
is
texted me to the side. He goes, "How old is he?" I'm so confused.
I'm the community call. I texted. I was like, bro, how old is Levi? He said he has grandkids.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, I literally responded, "Black don't crack." That's it. That's all I said.
It really don't, man. Like it really don't. But like, yeah, my wife's 25, so it's from a previous marriage, but they're mine.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I've
100%.
been there since day one.
I loved your context when you said it in the community call, where you're like, they're my kids. Like, that's so much respect.
Brother, we have to invite you back on here because there's just so much more that needs to be talked about your journey. But I'm glad that we had the tangents that we did, because I think that those tangents are really what's going to help a lot of people. So I appreciate your time. Guys, if you would like to join us for the community call that we've talked about a billion times in this podcast, you can do that by joining the brand new ALG Facebook community page. And there will be a link to that somewhere wherever you're listening to this. I promise you.
Links
I don't handle the tech shit, but David will take care of that. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at the Accountable Life Group. You can follow me at JARPsJourney. That's JARPS_journey. You can follow him at fit_DRock. Levi is Fluffy. What is it? Fluffy to
Fitness 85.
It's the 85 at the end that throws me off, man. I got to be honest with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got to change it up.
Yeah, I think you do. I think it's time. As always, stay beautiful, stay sexy, stay accountable. Until next time.
Toodles.